Probably the easiest way to put some hatching into a gCADPlus drawing is to draw a polyline around an area of interest. This little zone through here is going to be paved with bricks, recycled bricks, and we want to hatch it to indicate that. So I've drawn a polyline and I've used entity snaps to locate accurately the 4 vertices of that polyline. Do make sure that you set the polyline as a closed polyline. So we'll say, yes, this is a closed polyline. If you don't, the polyline will not hatch. So let's now draw, select the hatch command, and the prompt says select the objects to be hatched. We then right click, and at the top of the dialog box here you can see the link to the particular pattern file that contains the hatch pattern. Because I'm working in a metric area, this is ACAD ISO.pat, but you could be looking at one called ACAD.pat. So gCADPlus uses AutoCAD hatch patterns. In the drop-down arrow here, you've got rather a large selection, and the next thing to be concerned with is the angle of hatching. Well, I'm going to hatch this 90 degrees and my scale. Keep your eye on the density here. You might keep the density relatively low. Some people will always aim for a density of less than 2. Let's try, we'll try 200. Can you see that as we change the scale value, the density changes? We'll try at a scale of 200. So you can see that scale is a little bit too wide. So we can deal with it by just removing the hatching or coming over here and saying, well, we'll try, say, a scale of 25, and in goes our hatch pattern, which is close to the one that I was trying earlier. So can you see that there are a few steps to consider when you are applying hatching? If you're absolutely happy with the hatching, you can easily remove that boundary, and then you could match the properties of one lot of hatching to the properties of another. But hopefully that gives you some insight into hatching. You do need to take just a little care with it. Otherwise, because CAD software can put lots of entities into a drawing, you might find that your CAD software just crashes or goes into an endless loop trying to put thousands and thousands of lines into tiny areas. So do be a little careful and go through it step by step.